Hi. So today we are here to talk about gratitude and the role that that can play in your career, which may not be something that you always think about. We think about gratitude as, having nice manners or showing appreciation for people, but not what the benefit of it is can be back to you for your career. And it's kind of funny because when I think about that, it's like, expressing gratitude and feeling gratitude and surrounding yourself with it, if you're doing it for your own benefit, is it really that selfless? It doesn't matter. There's benefits all the way around. And so let me start by expressing some gratitude for the fact that you're showing up to listen to this. If you're here live, if you're watching this later, it means that this topic is important to you, and which I think is a great thing. And it's a great place for us to start. So thank you. I talked about this being November when we're taping this, and the fact that it's Thanksgiving month, and it's just kind of a natural, for me anyway, it's a natural time to think about what I'm grateful for. So it's a good excuse to choose that as the topic for the month. But the truth is, we can and even should tap into this all the time because it is good for your career and it's good for business. So let me just put it out there. I'm going to advocate that feeling gratitude and expressing gratitude is good for business. It's good for your career, but it can increase your business. And I'm going to get to why. So what do I mean by gratitude? It's easy. It's just noticing the things around you that are good, that are helpful, that are positive, that are uplifting. It's not that hard. But sometimes we just don't pay a lot of attention to it. And so, really, it's about getting connected to it or noticing it, you being aware of it around you. But then, in terms of how can it benefit your career, how can it help you as a leader, you got to get active with it, express it when you see it. But it has to be sincere. If you're going around and expressing, you've probably been around people like this, and I have. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I really appreciate you, whatever it is. If it's like off the top of your head, if it's thoughtless, if it's not sincere, people can sniff that out right away. But when it is sincere is when it really has power. So, I said getting active with it as a leader, it's expressing it sincerely, and it's really creating a culture of it. I mean, that's what leaders have the opportunity to do. So, again, it's good for business. What what's interesting about gratitude, and it's something that I've been talking about for a long time. It's one of the pillars of career satisfaction. It's in the assessment that I talk about. Is really one of the pillars is knowing that your work has meaning and making a difference, and that has been found to be a real element of satisfaction, but happiness. This is what people want. This is what employees want. They want to know that what they're doing makes a difference. And so it's up to us as leaders to express it, to make sure that people feel appreciated and valued and respected, because that's when they'll dig deep and really reach their full potential and bring their best. And that's one of the biggest ways that it's good for business is you've got a group of employees. We've all heard so much about, excuse me, we've all heard so much about people being disengaged in that right now. The easiest way to re-engage people is to appreciate what it is that they're doing. There's an organization called the Global Happiness Council, which made me happy just to hear that it existed. And every year they do a global happiness and well-being policy report. And what they found was a meaningful increase in well-being that can come through feeling appreciated actually yields on average about a 10% increase in productivity. So think about that. What if the productivity of your team was increased by 10%? So you can choose to be the boss that creates that environment. So why is gratitude so important to me? I feel like I've come by it in a way painfully. I'll just share my own experience. And really where it started, you've read about gratitude, of course, but really where it started to feel so important to me was at the beginning of the pandemic, when we were all afraid to go out, and being around other people and being in public felt threatening somehow. And I was highly aware of how lucky I was that I could stay in my safe little bubble. I had a comfortable, spacious home. I had property that, I could enjoy without being around other people. My husband went and did the grocery shopping. My clients, I've always seen my clients virtually, either on Zoom, or it used to be on phone. Now it's really all on Zoom. My clients were in a situation where their economic situation wasn't really impacted. So not a lot changed in my world. Of course, I didn't have people live in it. I couldn't see my friends, and that was a big deal. But in terms of my own safety and security, I was highly aware of how fortunate I was. But really, the way that was showing up for me was in terms of guilt. I was feeling guilty that I was so much more lucky than other people, the people you saw in the news that had to be out there in public, and the people that were sick, and the first responders in them. So I did a lot of work trying to figure out what I could do about that guilt. And what I realized was, for me, the flip side of guilt is gratitude. And if I tapped into how grateful I was for the upside of all of that, what it did was it freed up all of that negative energy I was feeling around guilt, and allowed me to actually help other people through it, through freeing up that energy rather than holding me blocked. So it's become very personal for me and very important. And it's something that, excuse me, right now I'm not grateful for the cold that my husband has given me. My own, the importance for me of gratitude has really become a practice, almost the way I practice yoga or meditation, which I'm still really bad at. But in terms of my gratitude practice, I'm getting really good at it. And basically, it's just a matter of touching base with it every day and noticing the things that I'm grateful for, big and small. And I personally love to do it in the morning because it sets me up for the kind of day that I want to have. And I firmly believe that the things you're looking for, you will find. And so if I start the day by thinking about the things that I'm grateful for, it just sets me up to find them all day. So I share that with you mostly because it's what works for me. If that's helpful for you, give it a try, or you may have another way to surround yourself with gratitude. And I'd love to hear about that. Okay, so the way I think about it is gratitude is like the tide that lifts all boats, meaning it brings you up, it brings the people around you up, it brings your employees up. And all it takes is people recognizing each other, and you can set that culture. When you give and receive gratitude, when you express what someone has contributed, it feeds on itself, especially if you as the leader see someone else showing appreciation for another and you recognize them for doing that. Boy, that really catches like wildfire. And before you know it, you have created a culture where people are feeling more appreciated and they're expressing that more to others. And it's just sort of lifting all boats, if you will, in a really, really good way. So some of the benefits of expressing gratitude, it's almost like smoke, like you can get secondhand gratitude. It spreads. You just do it, others start doing it as well. You're going to have happier, more loyal employees. Again, one of the most important things is for people to know that they're making a difference. And it's really easy for you to catch them doing things right and notice it and express it to them. Again, if it's sincere. And if you have examples and you're specific, even better. It also will create more loyalty among your clients or customers and really give you a better connection for them if you express that that gratitude to have them in your world, to have them helping you and your business succeed. And it will lead to more business success. Remember what I said about people who feel happier who feel more appreciated, there's about a 10% increase in productivity. Think about what the impact is on your business. Now, getting to the benefits to your career. Again, the benefit to you, but it's okay if you're doing good things. It should be of benefit to you too. It really makes you someone that people want to work with. If you're expressing appreciation for people and you're, providing feedback, and sometimes it could even be corrective feedback or something that has the opportunity to be optimized, but you're expressing your gratitude for them to put in the effort and that kind of thing. If you are someone who expresses that kind of feedback and that kind of gratitude, people want to work with you. People want to be around you because you're a positive force and you're making things better. And so that means the people that might be looking to hire you for the next big thing, they want to be around you. You might become known as the leader that people want to follow, the leader that people will do anything for. That's a really good reputation to have. And showing appreciation and gratitude is a great way to build that. We know that the number one reason that people will leave a job is because they have a challenge with their boss. So be the boss that's the solution and not the problem. It's not that hard to get started. I also happen to believe that there's benefits to showing gratitude beyond your career, and that is your family will be happier if you're expressing gratitude for the things that they do and the things that they contribute. And it just feels good. Like, prove me wrong, give it a try and see what you think. It really does feel good to show appreciation for someone and to be looking for the things that are going right. On the occasion where you have to provide feedback that isn't so positive, having that foundation will even help to make that situation easier because your communication is better. You already have a human connection because you've been expressing that to them, and it will even make that situation a bit better. So what if you believed me that expressing gratitude would make your business more successful? What if you approached your work as though gratitude was one of your accountabilities? It's in your list of objectives to express gratitude. Think about the ripples you would create. It's pretty exciting to think about. And if you're still listening, you're bought in, so give it a try. And, I mentioned that as leaders, we have the opportunity to create that culture. For me, I run my own business now, but I have associates that work with me. I have, teams that support my business in different ways, and showing the appreciation that I genuinely feels good. And it creates the culture that I want in my business. So I would suggest that leaders should model the habit of frequent and widespread sincere expressions of recognition. It's just something that you can do every day, but it's got to be sincere. It really inspires others to do that within your organization. So how do you do that? There's 3 easy ways that you can get started. The first is so easy. Just embrace the power of thank you. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I have seen, and I have talked to other people who have seen bosses who they just sort of assume this is your job. You're here to do this. I don't need to thank you. Okay. Like, I understand the logic there. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But if you just embrace the power of thank you, and you just recognize people for what they do and the effort they make, and that doesn't just mean the people that report to you. It's like 360. If you can thank your boss, you can thank your peers. If there are people that are contributing to your success, and if you work in a big organization, there are a lot of them. It's as easy as starting to say thank you, appreciate their efforts on a regular basis. So that's step 1. Step 2, look for some, I'll call them lower profile contributions that also deserve recognition. It doesn't just have to be the big earth-shattering stuff. Sometimes it's some small way that someone enabled someone else's success, or sometimes it's even mining a project that quote unquote failed for the things that did go right, for the effort that went into it, for the mid-course corrections that went into it. Again, it doesn't just have to be the big things. Sometimes it's the smaller things and the things that have always gone unnoticed in some ways are the most powerful things. And sometimes you do really have to look for them. But if you think about it, a project that, say your team pilots something, which just inherent in the fact that it's a pilot means you don't exactly know if it's going to work out. You're starting small to model it, and you're hoping it will, and you'll build on it. But a lot of times it doesn't. And it's still something to celebrate. And there's still, it may not be the project that gets highlighted in town hall meetings and things like that, but a lot of people still put a lot of work in, and appreciating those efforts has tremendous power. So embrace the power of thank you. Look for those lower profile, I'll call them, contributions that really deserve to be recognized. Excuse me. And then notice when people are noticing others. So give recognition to the people that habitually recognize others, because that just becomes a spiral in the best of all possible ways. So a couple of thoughts. Think about, when it comes to gratitude, what could be different in your life? What could be different overall if you dial up the gratitude? What could it mean for you in your job or business success? What could it mean for you as a leader if you express more gratitude? What could it mean for your business? And what could it mean for you as a person if you stop and appreciate gratitude and express it even more often than you do? So those are some things to think about and find some little ways. If you're bought in at all, it's worth the experiment. So thank you for listening. I have been, when I plan these talks, I kind of let myself wash in the topic for a couple weeks before we talk. So it's been amazing for me to do that about gratitude. If you have any thoughts, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you disagree with me, give me a chance to prove myself right. I would love to hear about that too. So you can reach out to me through my website. You can send me a message here. But let me know what your thoughts are, how this applies for you, if you have anything to share. So I'm grateful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your November, including Thanksgiving. And I'll be in touch soon.